So today we're going to do something a little different. Instead of looking at a product itself, we're actually going to deconstruct its sales pitch. We're going to peel back the layers and really look at the architecture of persuasion. And this is where it all starts. This headline is from a text presentation for a supplement called SonoVive. It's such a classic opening, right? It's simple, it's direct, and it offers this big, powerful solution to a concern a lot of people have. This one sentence really sets the stage for everything that follows. Okay, so here's our roadmap for this breakdown. First, we'll look at the personal pitch. Then we'll dive into how they frame the natural solution. After that, we'll dissect the anatomy of the offer itself, see how they create a sense of urgency, look at the safety net they built in, and finally, the part everyone should do, we'll read the fine print. First up, the personal pitch. And it's funny, a lot of these sales messages, they don't even start with the product. They start with a person. And there's a really good reason for that. The goal here is to build a foundation of trust before they ever even ask you to buy anything. So let's meet the founder, Sam Olsen. Now, I want you to notice just how specific all these details are. He's not just some guy. He's Sam Olsen, 65 years old, a retired medical chemist from near Philly who loves plants. Every single one of these details is chosen to make him sound credible and, maybe more importantly, relatable. See, we're just wired to connect with a detailed story about a person way more than we are with some abstract claim. And just like that, we pivot. We go from this relatable, kind of down-to-earth chemist to this huge, emotionally charged promise. It's a massive claim, and it's designed to take that trust they just built and turn it into a real sense of hope and possibility. Okay, so they've got you feeling like you can trust this person, right? Now the focus shifts over to the product itself. And the language they use here is absolutely critical because it's all designed to appeal to our deep-seated values about what's healthy and what's pure.
So what even is SonoVive, according to the pitch? Well, it's a formula made of plant extracts. And you can see the ingredients here sound kinda scientific, kinda botanical, which, you'll notice, fits perfectly with that founder's story of a chemist who loves plants. It's all part of the same narrative.
The description really hammers home what I'm calling the 3 pillars of purity. You see words like effective, natural, and pure. These are incredibly potent marketing words. They tap right into our subconscious belief that if something is natural, it must be good for us. It just creates this image of a clean, safe, trustworthy product. And then, to really seal the deal, they add this next layer, a dose of authority. When they mention that the facility is FDA-approved and GMP certified, they're basically borrowing credibility from these big official institutions. It creates this kind of halo effect. Because it's made in a place with official-sounding credentials, the product itself feels safer and more legitimate. All right, let's talk about the offer. This is where the real psychology kicks in. It's so important to understand that how a price is presented can be way more persuasive than the actual price tag itself. This is all about the psychology of making a deal. So first they hit you with this number, $69. This is for one bottle. But this isn't just a price. In marketing, this is what's called an anchor. It's a reference point that your brain is going to use to judge every other offer they show you. But then, boom, they show you this table. And all of a sudden, that $69 anchor makes the single bottle look like a terrible deal, doesn't it? Your eyes are immediately drawn down to the 60-bottle package where the price per bottle is only $49. It makes the biggest, most expensive purchase feel like the smartest and most logical choice. And notice how easy they make it to actually buy. Just 4 simple steps. No complicated forms, no hoops to jump through. The process itself is designed to be completely frictionless. They want to remove any little bit of hesitation you might feel before you click that buy button. Okay, so they've built trust, they've presented this pure product, and they've made the offer look like a fantastic deal. What's next? Well, now they have to make you feel like you need to buy it right now. This is all about tapping into that powerful feeling we all get, the fear of missing out. Listen to this phrase, "We will run out of stock soon," as this has happened before. That right there, that's a classic scarcity tactic. It tells you 2 things at once. Supply is limited and demand is super high. And that little detail, "this has happened before," that's social proof. It makes you think, wow, if everyone else is buying it up so fast, it must be really good. So they've just made you feel a little rushed, right? A little anxious maybe? Well, a really smart sales pitch knows what to do next. It gives you a safety net. This is specifically designed to calm down those last-minute fears and remove the final barrier to purchase. And there it is, the ironclad guarantee. I mean, what a great word, right? It sounds so strong, so unbreakable. This is a classic risk reversal move. It takes all the risk off of you, the buyer, and puts it squarely on them, the seller. By taking away the financial risk, the decision to buy feels so much safer.
We've now gone through that whole persuasive funnel, from top to bottom. But we're not done yet. Our deconstruction isn't really complete until we look at the part that most people just scroll right past, the fine print. This is where the big, bold claims have to meet legal reality.
And here's where it gets really interesting. On one side, you have the pitch, a promise to support the health of your hearing. But then you look over at the disclaimer, and it says those exact statements haven't even been evaluated by the FDA. You can see the tension right there. And this right here, this really gets to the heart of the whole thing. The emotional pitch promises to literally change your life. But the legal disclaimer is crystal clear. The product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Seeing them side by side like this shows you the two completely different languages being spoken in the very same sales pitch. So when you see it all laid out like this, you realize this isn't just about one product. It's a formula, it's a pattern. The personal story, the appeal to nature, the psychological pricing, the urgency, the safety net, and the fine print. Once you can recognize this blueprint, you start to see it absolutely everywhere. So the real question is, now that you can see the architecture, how might you look at the next ad you see a little differently?